Welcome back to our channel. Today's topic is all about the post-war period in architecture in the Philippines. The devastation brought by the last World War II, coupled by economic exigencies, give way to the extension of slowly emerging architectural concept to detach from bondage of traditional forms. When we talk about traditional forms, are the architecture from the Renaissance period. Post-war period. In 1946, after the World War II, the independent Philippines expressed its identity by implementing modernism through the utilization of reinforced concrete and steel and glass. The predominance of cubic forms, geometric shapes, and Cartesian grids, and the absence of applied decoration. In 1947, a corps of architects and engineers were tasked to study the modern US and Latin American capitals and formulate a master plan for Manila. Federico Illustri, consulting architect from 1950s to 1970s, worked on the building at the Elliptical Road in Quezon City. He started his career as a draftsman for Juan Akpil, and he graduated from Mapua, and he passed, of course, the PRC exam 1937. His work, and his greatest work, is this centerpiece of 65-meter high Art Deco Quezon Memorial Monument composed of 3 pylons topped by wing figures and representing 3 island groups, the Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. But I think this is just influenced by Roman and Egyptian and historical forms. Filipinos are noted for what we call copying from Western architecture. So this is the influence. Just like the Jose Rizal's obelisk in the Luneta, that is not original design by a Filipino, but there's a little bit of historical copied forms to that. Okay? 1950s and 1960s staple architectural element were the Bryce Sulil glass walls, pierced screens, thin concrete shells. The post-war doctrine was form follows function, professed by the third-generation architects, but this dictum here, the form follows function, it was originally stated by Louis Sullivan, the architects of Chicago University, which was also the teacher or the instructor of the greatest architect of all time, no other than the great Wright. And it happens that Louis Sullivan was also the teacher, the instructor, and the mentor of the greatest architect of all times. That's Frank Lloyd Wright. Okay? So, Cesar Concio and Angel Nakpil, Alfredo Luz, and Utilo Arellano, Felipe Mendoza, Gabriel Formoso, and Carlos Argelius, they said they formulated this form follows function. Wow. This is just a copied dictum from the great Louis Sullivan. Anyway, let's skip this page. It doesn't fit. You must quit. Cesar Homero Concio Sr., November 30, 1907, died 2003. First university architect of the University of the Philippines when the university transferred to Diliman from Padre Paura in the late 1940. He is also one of the architects elected by President Rojas in 1947 to study the trends in architecture and engineering to the design buildings of the capital city. Study, not copy, guys. That's the main objective in architecture. Just study. You can be influenced by the design of your idol, but do not copy, okay? You design your own. His design was the Melchor Hall University of the Philippines, Diliman. That's part of the UP. And the Church of the Rising Lord, located at the University of the Philippines, also in Diliman. Anghel Inakpil. Okay. A nephew of architect and national artist of the Philippines, Juan Akpil. He graduated from UST. He was a charter member of the United Architects of the Philippines. His work, the National Press Club. The National Press Club building was inaugurated on December 30, 1955 with President Magsaysay. Alfredo Luz, brother of national artist and sculptor Arturo Luz. His body of work includes the Minzi Building on Ayala, the Amon Trading Building in Buendia, and the Ilanes Building in Rojas Boulevard, and Diwi Boulevard, the Phil Oil Refinery Service Building in Limay, Bataan. Another work of that man, the Kisumbing Building and the World Health Organization located in the UN Avenue in Manila. How about Otilio Arellano, born in Manila, 1916? He is the son of Arcadio Arellano, the nephew of Juan Arellano. He rose into the architectural profession during 50s and 60s. Okay, he got awards like the PRC, Outstanding Architect, and the National Bureau of Investigation Award, because he designed the NBI, National Bureau of Investigation buildings in 1936, located at the Taft Avenue, Ermita in Manila. Still on post-war architects in the Philippines, Felipe Mendoza, a physical planner. He formed a partnership with Gabino de Leon, and he got awards too, like Patnubay ng Sining ng Kalinangan, UAP Likha Award, PRC Outstanding Architect. Okay, and his best design is the Philippine Veterans Bank in Manila. The concept of this bank for veterans of World War II was conceived in 1956. Gabriel Formoso started his career in 1950s. He was also one of the people selected in 1963. He got awards like the PRC, the Patnubay ng Sining, and the Republic Cultural Heritage Awards. His greatest work, the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas and the Latondinia Building. Carlos Argelies. He studied abroad. He served a professor, designed the UST, College of Architecture and Fine Arts, and appointment as Dean of the UST College. Okay, let's go to his work. His greatest work of his lifetime, the Phil-Am Life Building, UN, located in United Nations Avenue Street in Ermita, Manila. That's the Phil-Am Life Building, Manila. And the International Rice Research Institute in Los Baños. In 1950s, also witnessed space-age aesthetics of soft modernism, which experimented with a sculptural plasticity of poured concrete to come up with soft and sinuous organic forms with the use of thin shell technology. Examples are the space-age Victor Toy Coast UP International Center and Jose Zaragoza Union Church, right here in the right side. Soft Modernism Church of the Holy Sacrifice and Philippine Atomic Research Center. In 1950s, the height of the building was limited only to 30 meters by the law. With the amendment of Manila Ordinance 4131, a high-rise fever redefined Manila's skyline. Angel Nakpil's 12-story Picachi building, considered as the first skyscraper in the Philippines. So take note about it, guys. The Picachi building is the first skyscraper in the Philippines. The Cesar Conscious Insular Life building, first office building to surpass the old 30-meter high restriction. Okay, so these are the skyscraper in the Philippines during the 1950s. Okay guys, don't forget to answer questions at the end of the video. I'll see you on my next video. And don't forget to subscribe. Also, make a comment for your attendance right here in my channel. Thank you. Okay guys, here are the 10 questions for you to answer about Philippine architecture after World War II. Okay, write your answer at a piece of white bond paper and submit the soft copy or the JPEG into our email or Google email, and keep the hard copy for it will be collected couple of weeks from now. Okay, and here are the question. Number 1, who is the pioneer of modern Philippine architecture? Number 2, what makes Philippine architecture unique? Number 3, what are the post-war architectural characteristics in the Philippines? Number 4, what is post-war architecture? Number 5, what is the father or who is the father of Philippine architecture? Number 6, who are the famous architects in the Philippines? 7, who among the Filipino architects you admire the most? 7, make that 8, who is the best architect in the Philippines in your own view? Okay. Number 10, what is the largest ethnic group in the Philippines? Okay, I think this question is not included. Just answer this another question below. How did the war affect modernism? Okay, that's all for today, folks, and see you on my next video. Thank you.